To the world, Dee Blanchard was a saint, a selfless mother who dedicated every second of her life to caring for her terminally ill daughter. Gypsy Rose, leukemia, muscular dystrophy, brain damage. Gypsy supposedly had it all. But in June 2015, a single, chilling Facebook post shattered this perfect illusion. It read, "That bitch is dead." When police stormed their pink house in Missouri, they found Dee brutally murdered in her bed. But the real horror wasn't just the crime scene. It was what was missing. Gypsy's wheelchair was empty, because Gypsy could walk, and she was the one who wanted her mother dead. To understand how a daughter turns into a mastermind, we have to look at the lie they lived. For over 2 decades, Dee and Gypsy Rose were the ultimate symbols of survival. They moved to Springfield, Missouri, after losing everything in Hurricane Katrina. Neighbors instantly fell in love with them. Habitat for Humanity built them a custom home with a wheelchair ramp. They got free trips to Disney World, backstage passes to concerts, and endless donations from charities. Gypsy was always seen wearing a breathing tube, thick glasses, and a colorful wig to hide her bald head. Dee claimed her daughter had the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. She monitored every word Gypsy spoke, often holding her hand tightly during interviews. But it wasn't love, it was a grip of steel. Whenever Gypsy tried to speak for herself, Dee would squeeze her hand so hard it left bruises. It was a warning sign that the world completely missed. Behind closed doors, the pink house was a house of horrors. Gypsy Rose wasn't sick at all. She didn't need a wheelchair. Her legs worked perfectly, and she could eat regular food instead of using a feeding tube. Dee suffered from a severe psychological condition known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy. She medically abused her daughter for decades, shaving her head, giving her medication to induce weakness, and forcing doctors to perform unnecessary surgeries. Dee locked Gypsy in a prison of fake diagnoses to keep her dependent forever, reaping thousands of dollars in charity money. But as Gypsy grew into her late teens, she began to realize the truth. At night, while Dee slept, Gypsy smuggled a laptop into her room. She escaped into the digital world, searching for love and freedom. In 2012, on a Christian dating website, she met Nicholas Godejan. Nicholas was a troubled young man with a history of mental illness, living in Wisconsin. For 3 years, they maintained a secret, intense online relationship. They shared dark fantasies of a life together. But there was only one massive obstacle standing in their way: Dee Blanchard. To be together, they decided Dee had to disappear. The plan was set for June 2015. Gypsy convinced Nicholas to travel all the way from Wisconsin to Missouri. She checked into a local motel, waiting for the perfect moment. On the night of June 14th, after Dee went to sleep, Gypsy let Nicholas into the house. She handed him a massive serrated knife and retreated to the bathroom, covering her ears to drown out her mother's screams. Nicholas stabbed Dee 17 times while she slept. The lovers fled the scene immediately, taking thousands of dollars Dee kept hidden in the house. They took a bus back to Wisconsin, believing they had committed a perfect crime. But Gypsy wanted her freedom celebrated. To alert the police to find her mother's body so she could move on with her life, she posted those infamous words on Facebook. She thought the police would view her as a rescued victim. She never imagined that the digital trail they left behind would quickly turn them into the prime suspects. Within 48 hours, SWAT teams surrounded Nicholas's house in Wisconsin. They surrendered without a fight. The illusion was officially over. When the news broke, the entire world was paralyzed. The sick, helpless girl in the wheelchair walked into the courtroom completely healthy. The public narrative flipped overnight, from a tragic murder to a shocking tale of survival and revenge. The legal system faced a massive ethical dilemma. How do you punish a girl who was tortured her entire life by her own mother? In 2016, Gypsy Rose accepted a plea deal and was sentenced to 10 years in prison for second-degree murder. Nicholas Godejan, the man who carried out the physical act, was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. In late 2023, after serving 85% of her sentence, Gypsy was released on parole. Today, she is a global media sensation, but the internet remains deeply divided. Was she a cold-blooded mastermind who manipulated a vulnerable man into committing murder? Or was she simply a desperate victim, doing the only thing she could to survive her living nightmare? The truth lies somewhere in the dark.